So I'm here with Olivia, who is the editor of Mad About Doin magazine, the first independent print and digital publication dedicated to slow fashion culture and the humans of the sustainable sphere. Oh, okay. So to start us off, would you like to just introduce yourself?
So I'm Olivia, or Olive, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Mad About Doing, which you obviously just explained very well exactly what it is. So I basically unearth the kind of people behind slow fashion labels, Depop shops, and just people kind of within the kind of circular fashion world, really.
So tell me about the birth of Mad About Doing. How did it start? What made you start it?
Well, it started off as my final major project at uni, and we kind of did a few kind of units kind of surrounding magazines and kind of layout design and stuff, and I really liked that. So I thought I want to do a magazine for my final major project. So paired with my love for magazines and my love for Depop and slow fashion and kind of secondhand shopping, I kind of put the two together and curated a publication dedicated to the humans of Depop. So it started off being called Mad About Depop, and it is basically still that. I just kind of, we'll get back onto that later, but I just kind of future-proof the name a bit, but it's still very much the same kind of vibe. But it just kind of started as my university project, which went really well. I got a really good grade for it, and since graduating, I had, over the kind of course of doing it for my final major project, I built up such a strong kind of community and social platform, paired with really loving doing it. I just thought I can't just kind of let this just, I don't know, disintegrate in the kind of social sphere. I didn't want to keep going, so I kept going, and I started issue 2 in the summer last year. So it was a autumn winter 2020 issue, and then that happened, and then now I'm kind of, and I just keep going, and I'm just keeping the issues going, and the following's kind of I'm nearly at 7k now. It's absolutely skyrocketed. That's kind of how it started, I guess, my uni project, and now it's my kind of passion project, main hustle thing.
Wow, I can't believe you're already nearly at 7k.
No, it's crazy. I literally don't know how.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
just so we get a bit more context on the brand, could you tell us about the brand message and values, and in general, what's important to you?
Kind of the main kind of I guess slogan or message of the brand is basically helping to kind of shine light on young entrepreneurs and basically push the kind of circular fashion message out there. So it's kind of got it's a web of kind of things I want it to be, I want it to do, and I want it to show. So it's a people-based publication, so it's giving people a spotlight who wouldn't normally get one. But I know I kind of just, I see shops and brands and labels who might have not had press yet because they're just beginning, and I kind of I'm the kind of, I guess, the step into showing what they're about. And you normally read stuff about brands and about things they sell and stuff, but you don't really ever learn about the people and the kind of boss behind it. So I guess it's, long story short, it's basically, the message behind it is trying to basically change the kind of the fashion game, redefine luxury, and kind of show people that slow fashion and sustainability isn't boring.
So what would you say makes you authentic and different to others?
Well, for a start, there isn't another publication like mine, which I think in itself is just authentic. There's nothing else out there that kind of does what I do, or kind of matches the kind of aesthetic and the house style of the publication. But also, I think the thing that kind of sets the publication aside is that it's a genuine, I'm genuinely invested in these people, and I don't just do an interview with them and never speak to them again and unfollow them. The community keeps growing and growing and growing, and I actually I'm really genuinely interested in hearing about their journey and want to kind of give them the platform to talk about themselves. So I guess that makes me quite authentic. But yeah, I feel slow fashion, it's not new anymore. It's kind of becoming more well known. People are more involved, more into it. So it's not necessarily a new revolutionary topic like sustainable fashion. Everyone's heard about it. I just want to continue to push the message out there in a more stylistic approach to kind of help redefine and take away the stigma from secondhand charity shop stuff. Like it's actually there is an element of luxury in there. So I guess that's kind of that really.
Yeah, I really like that. So as you already said, you're very close to 7K on Instagram. So again, congratulations. How do you tend to engage with your followers and readers?
So in the kind of the bog standard way that we all do is like liking, commenting, and sharing things, but kind of in a way of not just doing what you're meant to on Instagram. Another way I kind of like interact with them is do kind of like polls, question boxes, like more kind of interactive stories, like help design this page, like what color, I don't know, what colors are in at the moment, kind of getting them more involved in that respect. Because like I personally like love an inside scoop. I love like being involved in something. If I follow like a digital artist and they're like, what background looks best? I'm like, oh, like say my thing, and then you kind of check back to see if they went with that one. And there's all these like resin ring brands at the moment, and like some of them say like help me name this one, kind of thing like that. So kind of like getting like your audience kind of involved and stuff, but also like I am there to shed a light on them. Like I have grown this following, and some shop, not following doesn't matter, like it isn't an important thing. Like you can sell out with 300 followers. Like if you put 100 people in a room, that's a lot of people. So the following thing isn't like such a big thing. But with brands that potentially do have a smaller following, who maybe are more, I guess, inspired to kind of keep growing, I can give them a platform within my community who are all like-minded people, and like kind of just show them off and give them some like promotion, I suppose.
You mentioned Depop at the beginning. I've seen that you're involved with the Depop project. Could you explain a bit about that and how it fits with your brand?
Yeah, so Depop, I've kind of throughout the kind of the process and the journey of the publication, like I've had like kind of dips of like contact from kind of Depop staff members and Simon, the founder, who bought a few copies. But kind of the best thing that's kind of come out of my contact with them is that I was chosen like worldwide, along with 4 other people, to be in their Now Next program, which is basically a 6-month long mentorship with a financial grant. And you kind of we have kind of Zoom conversations and mentorship kind of schemes and networking and talk amongst each other to help kind of grow our businesses from where they are now to where they're going to go next. So kind of with this mentorship and grant, because that's what you need, like you do need money sometimes to push yourself out there, and you do need professional opinions and professional kind of advice. So these 2 things are like the best thing that they could have given, and it's just basically like helping kind of boost these kind of small businesses that fit a circular motive and circular kind of ethos, because all of us do. So they kind of chose us on the basis of that. But yeah, it's really cool.
That's so impressive, especially for something that started off as your like uni project.
I know it is. I feel like I've been really fortunate enough to kind of fall into such a massive community. Like I don't actually know a community that's the same as Depop's.
Yeah.
And there's almost like no element of competition. Like everyone supports each other, everyone buys off each other. Like it's just a really brilliant community, and I feel like really blessed that I mean, I wanted to write about them, but I just feel it's been a really good community to kind of attach myself to.
You should. That's amazing. Let's talk about the issues. Am I correct to say you've currently got 2 and number 3 is coming out soon?
Yeah. So I did one. The first one was my uni project, and then the second one was, so I've done a spring summer 2020, and then autumn. It's a biannual publication, so there's only 2 a year because it is just me, and I don't have like 60 hands, which I wish I did. But yeah, and then the second one was an autumn winter one, and then this one is spring summer 2021.
Aren't you revealing your cover for issue 3 tonight?
Yes. So I'm kind of like, I got a bit, so obviously with a business and a magazine, like there's like important professional things that you need to like do, and the cover is like insane. I am so happy with it, and I've kind of been like liaising with the brand that the image is from and the photographer, and like permission and everything has been granted, like it's fine. But I thought to myself, I do need something on paper. Like you need to have contracts now, like these days you just do, because I'm not charging to use an image. You know, it's free promotion for everyone involved in this shoot. I don't want to charge anyone, and I don't want them to think, am I going to get slapped with a bill like, because normally you pay to be in a magazine, right? So I don't want them to worry. And then I thought to myself, I just, just for kind of like security. So I basically got swept away with the excitement and forgot about the important bit. So I'm waiting on like just a paper confirmation rather than an email one. So hopefully tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to reveal the cover, which probably by the time this interview comes out, it will be long gone and everyone will have seen it. But yeah, like I guess like a technical issue from my side, but hopefully it'll go live tonight if they get back to me in time. But if not, it's still the cover. I just kind of want some like security myself, just for like my own anxiety.
That's so exciting. Could you just briefly take us through the content of issue 1 and 2?
Issue 1 and 2 were both quite like similar in the fact that they were Mad About Depop. So before that had the name change. So they were like solely focused on the humans of Depop. So sellers, Depop staff members. Like I had an interview in issue 2 with Zoe Wong, who is the finance director at Depop. And I loved, and obviously absolutely loved it. So like I would reach out to all these incredible like Depoppers, and a lot of Depop shops now kind of really take time to like fine tune and create like almost editorial images. Like they're not just kind of like my Depop shop. I don't use it as a shop. It's literally to declutter like all my old clothes, and it's just pictures like not magazine worthy. But most Depop shops now, like it's a brand, like it's a proper label, so they really like take their time to like get these amazing shots. So I'd reach out to Depoppers who kind of fit that kind of aesthetic, they do shoots regularly, so I can like kind of incorporate like such high quality imagery. So yeah, 1 and 2 were basically all about the Depoppers, and then moving to issue 3, I just thought to myself, I need to future proof this. Like if it kind of takes off, if it gets bigger, I have got another brand's name in my name essentially. And is that allowed? Like, is that a thing? Do people? I don't know anyone else that has like, we love Tesco's. Like, you can't open up a Tesco, like a new supermarket, and call it I Love Tesco's. Like, you need your own label, your own brand. So I did that, and I was really worried about it because I'm on this program with Depop, and I was like, oh, they're gonna hate me. I'm taking their name out, but actually, it's like it's now to next. It's taking me to the next stage, like future proofing my brand, looking into the future, expanding my community, expanding the contributors I can have, because now I can have environmental advocates, I can have other slow fashion labels, I can have made to order kind of like design people, I can have like anyone, rather than like if you're not a Depop seller you can't be involved. And to me, like that was such a shut off thing. But the publication is like the same thing. It's just rather than every page being a Depop shop, which is brilliant, there's a couple of other kind of people within this like kind of, I guess, industry involved as well, kind of hearing more angles and different stories, and I guess some more kind of educational pieces and like articles written by, like I've got one with a trend forecaster, and I'm kind of talking to her about, have you noticed a shift in trends since kind of sustainability has become more apparent? So there's definitely some kind of, I guess, different reads this time round.
Does your brand do collaborations with other brands?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of depends, like I guess like what the collaboration is. So not like, for example, we do giveaways. So I did a giveaway when I hit 6k with like collaborating with 4 other small businesses. I was going to collaborate with a wholesaling company, where like Depoppers kind of buy like big kind of bulk orders of stock for them to sell on, but they were really bad at contact, and I heard so many bad things about them that the kind of money that they were willing to pay to like be involved was just not worth it. So that kind of like slowly evaporated, which I'm actually very grateful for. But in terms of like collaborations and ads, yeah, like I definitely do them, and I think as the magazine gets bigger, I'll feel more confident to actually. A magazine makes money from ads, so at the moment I don't feel brave enough to be like, hi, like spend your money in the magazine, because if I was a label, would I want to? Like, would I don't know. It's just my confidence, I suppose. But as the magazine gets bigger, I think it will be more appealing to actually like for brands who want to collaborate and kind of actually pay to like advertise their eco packaging company or something like that. But yeah, collaborations definitely.
I was just going to ask you, like, what kind of criteria would the brand need for you to be able to work with them? Like, does it have to align?
I guess it's all like, I guess, subject to kind of what the collaboration is. Like, is it an advert in the magazine? Is it a live Instagram live kind of debate conversation? Is it like, it depends what it is, but I'm not picky, but I would not want to work with someone who doesn't, like, I guess, kind of fit the ethos that the magazine does. So, but all the people that I am kind of surrounded by in like my personal life and on in the magazine as well is like-minded and has the kind of holds the same like values and like circular sustainable kind of feelings that I do. So as long as they fit that and it's relevant, I'm don't because in the publication every article is relevant because the people who are wanting to read and buy the magazine are interested in slow fashion. So if they're reading about, I don't know, baking or fast fashion or football, like it's just irrelevant. So as long as it's relevant and they match our kind of message, then that's all that counts, I think.
Yeah. And now for the important part, sustainability, such an important factor, especially right now. I just want to ask, what makes you passionate about this field and how does your brand help?
I guess the thing that makes me passionate about it is the fact that it's like the world, it's like the where we live, that our planet, and someone who is like highly anxious about, like, I used to think like, oh my god, the world's gonna end, like I used to get so stressed out about it, and I just think that there's different, so like, I mean, I could go on a tangent about sustainability and the importance of it and the educational side of things, but I think that's down to an individual to like delve into themselves, because I think when you're preaching things about, you know, big topics like that, it's easy to be like, whoa, like stop trying to like ram it down my throat kind of thing. So I think it's down to the individual to like educate themselves and pick parts that they want to focus on and that they want to kind of alter in their own personal life. But I think the main thing that what I'm passionate about is people and giving people a platform that they deserve and helping support and network. I think I've kind of like got on a tangent. I kind of forgot what you said. I think I answered the question.
No, it's just about, you basically did answer it. Yeah, just what makes you passionate about it and maybe how your brand helps it and stuff.
Yes, so the brand, like the magazine, obviously is literally like it's like a slow fashion catalogue. So not only does it give free promotion to these kind of, I say small independent brands. They're not all small. They're small because like what they produce is small, so they drop like 5 items and then they're gone, or they do run pre-orders, or it's all like dead stock materials. Like when I say small, I'm not undermining like small businesses. They're big businesses, like they're big brands, but they are small in the fact that they're like sustainable. But I guess I show my support by kind of documenting their stories and listening to them and giving them like, yeah, just free promotion to like show the world what they are. And in turn, hopefully, like it would be amazing to like actually see like stats if the publication is actually driving traction to these shops, which therefore will mean sales are made, which means that these small businesses are actually making money, because when someone buys a magazine, oh my god, that's amazing, like I love that dress, like what's their name, oh, go onto the Instagram and buy it. So I guess supporting financially, like if it means that someone is interested in their brand and like likes what they're talking about, connects with the kind of owner of the brand, loves like the imagery, loves the pieces, then that would be great.
And just as a final question, I'd like to ask you about the future of Mad About Doing. Have you got anything exciting coming up? And just generally, where do you see your brand going in the future?
Well, obviously the like most exciting, well, actually, there's quite a few exciting things like lined up. So I don't really know how much detail I can go into, but I'm being featured in 3 publications, like other publications, like big ones this year. And so that's exciting. So kind of getting my own name out there and kind of telling people what I'm doing, and not only just talking about the magazine, but like being involved in features that revolve around the message of sustainability that I'm passionate about. So that's exciting. And then obviously this Depop thing is really exciting as well. But I guess like kind of long term, when these features are out and the program with Depop finishes, what would be amazing would just be to kind of continue like expanding the community, maybe growing my team. Like at the moment it's just me and I have a features writer, so maybe like hiring an intern or just getting kind of more people involved, because it is a lot of work for one person to do. And as much as I love it, I miss being in, like, when I did it for my uni project, I miss being in a classroom, or like an office workspace with people. I can be like, what do you think of this? Or do you reckon that font there? Or do you reckon this? Like, it's just me. And I'm living at home at the moment because of COVID, and my parents and brother aren't interested in magazines. They don't know what people like, kind of what my community will like. So it would be brilliant to kind of have a team where I can actually talk to people and we can bounce ideas off each other, because when it's just one person, although I'm confident in my ideas, there's always going to be something better. And like, together, I think you're like stronger. It's like the community, like you're stronger together, and with a team, I think the magazine would be incredible with other people. Like, I don't have strong points in like graphic design, so but a publication would look great with some kind of more kind of intricate graphic design. So hiring people from like different kind of sectors would be brilliant. So expanding the team, and I guess just getting bigger and bigger, I suppose.
Well, that's it. Well, thank you so much for
Having me,
taking
I
the
feel
time. It's been
properly.
so lovely getting to know you and your brand. Any last words for a young creative who might be watching this?
I suppose just like it sounds really cliche, but like keep going. Like, you never know who's like, it sounds creepy, like you never know who's watching, but like you never know who's spotted your brand or your idea or something. Like, just keep going, keep networking, stay active, like build a portfolio. Obviously this is like not brand wise, but like as a young creative, like I've literally graduated last year, and my portfolio isn't huge. I mean, I have 3 magazines, but like in terms of other things, like my portfolio isn't massive, and maybe would have that helped me a bit more? Would that help me in the future? So just like stay active and like take every opportunity, because I remember, obviously I used to be on, I think, are you doing fashion media? Yeah. When I was on that course, like I probably had a lot of opportunities that I didn't take because I was too focused on like other fun things. And I feel like just take every opportunity that you get.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.